Science is the class, and it's my pleasure having you here. Thank you for always dropping by on the channel. Thank you for the positive feedback you always give on the comment box. Those are the motivating factors that will always make us to want to show up, knowing that you are finding value. If you know you're finding value for our classes, hit the thumbs up. That will help the channel. Subscribe if you've not subscribed. That will actually make us to many persons to discover our channel. We want the channel to grow. Make the channel grow. Let us have more audience to this channel. In our previous class on basic science, we talk about chemicals. We look at chemicals that are hazardous. We look at chemicals that are not hazardous. We look at uses of chemicals. Chemicals used at home, industries, and the rest of it. Today in our basic science class, we're going to take simple machine, and it will be part one of it. This will be part one of it. So we're going to take series of it, not just one part, but we'll have a number of parts. And so in our class for today, we have some objective to actually achieve. We want to tell you what a simple machine is. We want to explain the operation of a simple machine. And we'll take example of simple machine, uses of some simple machine. And so let's start by trying to explain what a simple machine is. When we say something is simple, that means there is going to be complex nature of such a thing. So when we talk about simple machine, we are talking about machines that are used, that are simple to use. It might not necessarily be machine used in the industries. It might not necessarily be machine used in production. There might be simple machines that we can use in our homes, like your broom, your hammer, your screw, your stapler. Those might be simple machines that we can use in our homes. So let's dive in and see what a simple machine is according to your basic science curriculum. A simple machine, they are machines that have few or no moving parts. Few or no moving parts at all. A stapler has no moving parts. It's just a simple machine that has no moving parts. A saw that I use to saw wood have no moving parts unless you move it. So they are machines that have few or no moving parts. A simple machine is a device which uses a force applied at one point called effort to overcome another force that is called load at some point. It enables a large load to be overcome by a simple effort. That means that a simple machine, effort is required. That is to say, you apply force, and that force, it requires you to put in effort in order to move it. And then the effort you put at that point in time can lead to making it easier for you to carry out an activity. Let me take an example. You have 10 blocks. Okay, let's narrow it down to 5 blocks. And they said you should convey it 2 poles away from you. If you are to carry it one after the other, you are going to go 5 times. But if you have the aid of a wheelbarrow that have few parts, and you put in the 5 blocks inside the wheelbarrow, you applying force to that load would convey it easily to that point. So a simple machine makes us do work easily than we would have done. It makes work easier for us. A stapler, you bind books together. A stapler enables you to put this book together and bind it together. With your hands, trying to force in a pin inside, it will be very tedious. So a simple machine helps us to do work effortlessly or easily. You can put a little effort, but not as it we would have put if we are doing it on a manual basis. You have a wood you want to saw. If you are to use your manual hand to hit it on the ground before it got broken, it will take you a while. But with a saw, you can saw it and it will be broken into pieces. What about a screw? A screw is like a nail, but when you drive it in, you screw it by means of your screwdriver and it's driven in. If you want to bore a hole, it's easily for you to screw it in, get your hole done, instead of you manually using something to screw without the screw. These are simple machines that helps life easy or makes life easier for us in carrying out our day-to-day activity. So we've seen what a simple machine is. They are machines that have few or no moving parts, and this is a simple machine. It's a device which uses an applied force. We have to use the applied force. You applying force, and then you are able to achieve what you want by you applying the force. If it's a load, you apply force to move the load to its destination. If it's a screw, you apply force to drive in the screw to bore the hole you want, and it makes things easier for us. He said it helps to overcome a large load to be overcome by a small effort. So small effort is required for you to do what? To carry out that which you want to do. So simple machine actually helps us in our home. What about our broom? Our broom are put together to sweep the floor. With a little effort of you moving it, you are able to achieve a clean floor. But with you trying to use your hands to clean the floor, it's not going to be very easy as much as the broom will do for you. So these are simple machines. They are some of them can be moved with few moving parts or no moving parts at all. Having explained what a simple machine is, we are going to look at, as I explain the operation of simple machine. How is a simple machine operated? I think I'm going to take it down here before I talk of example of a simple machine. Operation of a simple machine help us to move things easily. Like for example, that load I mentioned with the wheelbarrow helps us to move that heavy load to the other end. Or maybe you want to bring down your tricycle or your bicycle, and you want to place a flat object in order for you to move easily. Then that flat object you put in to move it down makes it easy for you to push down your motorcycle, your tricycle, or your bicycle. So it helps us to move things easily. Lift up load. When we talk about the lever, you will see how the lever helps us to push up load. When you pull it down, it push up the load, and so it helps us to push up load. Or by the aid of a wheel. If you have gone to where they are pulling out an engine from a heavy duty, you see that thing that has a wheel like a chain that helps them to anchor it to the engine, and then they use the chain to pull it in that wheel nature thing. It lifts it up. That makes us to lift heavy load easily, and it can go to the height at which it gets to, and you can pull down. So it makes us to pull up heavy load. Let's put force on one side. If for example you are sitting on one side and you want to pull your friend down, you can sit on this other side. That center there will help you to push it in. Have you seen two people sitting on two edges of a wooden chair and a center that have a screw on it? If the other person pushes hard, it will pull the other person down on the other side. So these are the operation of a simple machine. It helps us to lift up load easily, helps us to put force on one side. If that's what we actually want to pull the load on one other side, it can help us. Assume you have a stone you want to push out. You put it on one side, and the moment you push down, the flat wood there is going to push it off. So it helps us, because ordinarily you might not be able to carry this stone, but with the aid of that flat wood that you pull down, the load is carried up. And so these are simple ways operation of using a simple machine. And now we look at examples of simple machine. Now let us look at example wheel and axis, or as. We have wheel and axis, we have screw, we have wedge, we have lever, wheel. If you have a bicycle, you see that you have spoke on it, or you have a machine, even your vehicle, that wheel that helps it to turn. It's the wheel. Even the wheelbarrow, that which helps the tube to turn, it's the wheel. This helps us. The screw helps you to drive in your nail-like object that you can screw. So these are examples of a simple machine. I told you of the wheel and RZ. We have the screw, the wedge, and the lever. We'll talk more on these ones in part 2 or part 3 of the class. Whichever one, just pay attention and follow along. Remember, the subject we're discussing is simple machine. And so we are going to look at our next objective, uses of some simple machine. What are they used for? We've explained what is simple machine. We've seen the operation of simple machine, how they help us. Now let's look at the operation manually. I've told you of the broom. The broom helps you to sweep your house easily. The stapler helps you to bind books together or things you want to bind together. The hammer helps you to drive in nail or hard object into whatever you want to drive it in. The screw helps you to screw by means of a screwdriver to help you achieve your goal easily. So all of these, the operational value, it's help things done easily for us. Make it more simpler than it would have been if we are doing it manually on our own without this simple machine. Because without the stapler, without the hammer, without the broom, things cannot be done simpler or easily the way it would when we have the machine. If we do it on our own without this machine, it won't go. Let's take the last objective, which is uses of some simple machine. I'm going to look at the wheel, the puller, the lever. Let me look at this 3 simple machine. The wheel turns on a post to help move things easily. Your wheelbarrow, when it moves, it helps you carry heavy load and move it very easily. So we've seen how the wheelbarrow can help us move things easily. What about your bicycle, your tricycle? The bicycle can help you move easily. If you put load on it too, it will help you to move your load very easily. All right. So we've seen the work of a simple machine, which is a wheel. A wheel can translate into a bicycle, a wheelbarrow, a tricycle, things that has wheel that turns. Then a puller, that which can help you to lift up a load. You clear out the load, you push the chain, the puller rotates and move the chain, and your load moves upward or moves downward. And so the puller help you by using a wheel and a rope to lift the load. It uses a wheel which rotates at the middle. The rope can be a chain or ordinary rope that you pushed and it moves up, or you push down and it moves down. So it helps you to lift up load or bring down load. Then the lever is a straight bar that moves on a fixed point. A lever is a straight bar. It can be a wood, a flat wood that is straight, that can help you. You put a load on it and you push it this way, the load fell off the other way. Equally, a lever makes it easier to move a load. Helps you to push it up or helps you to move the load, either backward or forward. So we have seen the uses of some simple machine. We've seen the wheel, we've seen the puller, we've seen the lever, what they help us to do. It makes our life easier. Don't do what a machine can do. If you can lay your hands on this machine, use them to carry out these activities. We've talked about some simple home machine like the stapler. We talk about the saw. We talk about the wedge. We talk about the screw. All of these are simple home machines or simple machines that can make life easier for us. especially the wheel, the axle, the puller, the lever. All of these are simple machines that helps our life to go easy, make it simpler because it aids us. So we've come to the end of our class for today in basic science, simple machine part 1. We'll take part 2 in our next class. If you find value for this class, hit the thumbs up. If you have question, comment the comment box. If you have any suggestions, suggest below. If you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for being part of our class today. It was a pleasure having you, and we want to see you in our next class. Remember, we've covered the 4 objectives for our class for today. I'll see you in the next one.